50, 60, and I still haven't been able to do it. I hope I get the courage to see that yes, we can. Hello, fellow travelers. Here we are in our usual place, where I edit the videos, where we put together our trips, where we plan all our routes. But today, something else is motivating us. We often get messages on social media, in the comments on the videos. You're so lucky you can travel. You're so lucky to do it. I'm in my 40s, 50s, 60s, and I still haven't started, even though I dream of seeing those places. Europe, but I don't dare. So, fellow travelers, we're here today to give you that little push you need, to give you 10 tips that we wish we had when we started traveling, in our 40s, 50s, 60s, or even older. You know what you want, and what you want is to go to Europe. So what we're going to do is give you that little push. Let's get started. Oh, but stay until the end, because we have a gift for you at the end. First, it's not necessary to travel alone or by yourself if you don't feel up to it. If you don't want to go alone, if you don't feel like spending hours planning a trip, or you don't enjoy it, because not everyone enjoys doing that, organizing a trip. We can talk or research a destination for days, but some people get tired of it, and that's okay. Group travel on organized tours is an option. That's how my parents do it. They began traveling to Europe in accompanied groups after turning 50, and now, over 80, they still travel that way. Of course, look for an agency you trust, check the itinerary carefully, and take your time to choose the one you like best. First, if you're not comfortable going alone, find a group to join. The second one, smart planning without being too rigid. Now let's imagine that yes, we are the ones who are going to go on our own. So, the advice here is when you're putting together the itinerary, don't overload it either. In fact, avoid trying to see 10 countries in 15 days. Europe is meant to be savored, so choose a few destinations and explore them well. We don't want to walk around tired and exhausted, avoiding more museums or churches, because we're sleep-deprived and missing chances to relax and enjoy ourselves, like sitting down for a drink. Don't try to see places like Florence or Rome in just one day. Leave some room. Don't fill every day with activities. Set aside time to rest or improvise. The best experiences are usually the ones that weren't planned. Smart planning rigidity. Within the planning. To enjoy more, I would add, know the place you're going to. Get information about the place you're going to. Because anything can happen. For example, Naples, which I've heard about often. I went, it was chaos. I won't go back. Just to give an example. Well, watch videos. Watch lots of videos about what to see in each place. And that way you'll figure things out for yourselves. If that's a place you like, if you already know what you're going to find, you'll definitely enjoy it. The ideal season, if you can, travel in May, June, or September, October, when the weather is nice and there are fewer crowds. Travel in the shoulder season, May, June, September, or October, not peak season. It's usually very positive, because especially on a first trip, it's easier to find fewer crowds. You'll find a lot of tourists everywhere these days, but during high season, it gets really overwhelming. So, if you can choose, pick those dates. Besides, prices won't be as high as they are during the high season. And within this planning chapter, and now that we're talking about saving money, there's something important we need to know. Traveling around Europe as a senior can be more affordable. There are rail passes, discounted tickets, and reduced fares. Conditions at museums and cultural sites differ by country, but many benefits are available to visitors of all nationalities. Ideally, you should check the official websites of transportation or each museum in advance to find out the minimum age, required documents, and availability of the discount. Ages are typically 60 or 65 and older. Among the most well-known is the Eurail Senior Pass, which offers around a 10% discount for international travelers. Then there are also cards like the Renfe Gold Card in Spain, which you can get as soon as you arrive in Spain. The card costs €6 and you get a lot of discounts. On trains, you also have the Card Advance Senior in France, or the Senior offer on Trenitalia in Italy. But, as I was saying, you always have to check if it works for any nationality. But this is a great benefit for travelers from 60 to 65 years old. Subscribe. So, in summary, for this second point, itinerary with fewer destinations, mid-season. If possible, research your destination and use available discounts. The third, comfortable, well-located accommodation, which I really like. Prioritize central locations or those well-connected by public transportation. Even if they cost a little more, you'll save time and energy. Make sure the accommodation has an elevator or accessible rooms if you need them when booking a hotel. If you need an elevator and want to avoid stairs, check before booking. Many places lack elevators. Is it a regular hotel or in the city's old town? When you watch my videos about City X, I leave the hotel link in the video description. So check all that information there. Don't choose it just because we stayed there, because maybe we didn't need anything special. So, first check everything. Whenever someone recommends a hotel to you, make sure you check if it has what you need. Pay attention. This is similar to rest. It's about our arrival on the first day in a European city at 7 or 8 in the morning, and the hotel won't let us check in until 3 in the afternoon. Usually, at this age, we have more freedom and can allow ourselves some luxuries. Therefore, I advise you to request an early check-in to have them let you in earlier. The check-in time will have a cost. Or, if you can, add an extra night at the hotel before your arrival, letting them know you'll be arriving in the morning. This ensures your room is ready when you arrive. It costs more, but it's not like being able to shower and change after a 10 or 12-hour flight from America. And then, yes, you can go out feeling refreshed, instead of arriving at the hotel, not having the room, only being able to leave your luggage and go out. Since we're tired from traveling, let's always prioritize being in good condition to enjoy the trip. Fourth, efficient, organized transport. Don't leave booking your flight until the last minute, especially if you're flying from America to Europe, because prices will go up. Request assistance from the airline for boarding. If you are elderly or have limited mobility, they will provide wheelchairs for boarding. If you're going to book a car for your trip, do it as soon as you have your itinerary, and this is for the same reason. Prices go up as the date gets closer. Within the cities, do you use public transportation or walk? But Uber can be a good option to go somewhere farther away and not get tired. It costs more, but saves time and energy. And one option, if you're not in a hurry, is to take the sightseeing bus. They have them in every city, and it's true that they're usually very comprehensive, but they do take quite a while to get from one place to another. But if you want to sit for a while and see the city from the second floor of the bus, without any worries, taking a ride on it is a good option. If you like a stop, you can get off and reboard later. They're not that cheap, but for a first visit to a city and to be able to rest while we look around, they can be a good option. For short, medium, or long distances, European trains are good, generally comfortable and punctual. Buy tickets in advance, especially in France, Italy, and Spain, for better prices. Whenever we have long transfers of several hours from one country to another, many will advise taking a night bus to sleep during the trip and save a night in a hotel. Will you be able to do it? Maybe for the savings? But the truth is that you'll arrive tired and have to start walking around a city right away. You really need not to be tired. We're not 20 anymore, so I suggest you do it during the day. You'll lose those daytime hours traveling, but you'll have a hotel ready for you to leave your luggage, freshen up, and start your walk. That's why you should always remember to add more nights in each city to your itinerary. Fifth, frying at age A. Obviously, this is advice for people who don't have mobility issues. Take a fritcher in a new city. This goes for any age, but many might think that's just for young people who walk very fast, etc. No, that's not the case. It's true that you'll be walking for about 2 to 3 hours on average. That's why it's best to do it first. It also introduces the city. Just to clarify, even though it says frittura, they're not free. What is free is making a reservation, and you do that online. Then, you join them on the specified day and time. And at the end, you leave a payment that you think is appropriate. If you want the estimated amount, leave a comment on the video. I'll let you know since the amount changes as the video keeps getting views over the years. That I can tell you today, so at the moment you're watching this video, leave me a little message. We also have guided tours of museums, like the Accademia Gallery in Florence, or the entrance to the Colosseum in Rome, and so on, which are always good options. If, for your first visit, you're interested in getting more information about that museum or historical attraction, these tours are already paid. Sixth, money and safety. Europe is quite safe, but pickpockets in tourist areas are real. Caution, not paranoia. It happened to me on my last trip to Madrid, but it was the first time in years. So just the normal caution you have in your own countries. And this isn't about age, but we're adding it just in case. In big cities, keep backpacks closed or in front of you. Carry cards without international fees and a small amount of cash in euros, or the currency of the country you're going to. Remember that not all countries belong to the European Union, and even so, some still have their own currency, like Poland or Romania. Not all international credit or debit cards have fees for purchases abroad. Check in your country which ones don't. Ask your bank. I can only speak about how it is in my country, so if you're from Uruguay, if you want, leave me a question in the video. Don't write to me elsewhere, because it's much harder for me to see it. People also help answer each other's questions in the same comments. All contributions are always welcome. Thank you to everyone who leaves comments on the videos, because you help me and you help everyone else who reads them. Avoid carrying all your money or your passport with you. Use a fanny pack or an inner wallet and leave a digital copy of your passport in your email. Seventh, the hardest one, travel light. Don't bring it, just in case. Are you thinking of going to a special dinner one night? Something that matches, that's practical, that doesn't take up much space, but an outfit, not a bunch of things. Then, for the day, bring versatile and layered clothing. The weather can change a lot between countries, or even within the same country. We're talking about mid-season, like always. One day is warmer than another. These seasons can change a lot. Wear comfortable shoes. The main mistake is wearing new or unsuitable footwear. Sneakers, trainers, tennis shoes, whatever they're called, should be broken in, tested, and guaranteed not to hurt, even after a full day of wear. Also, bring Band-Aids or adhesive strips in case you get a blister, or better yet, to prevent one from appearing. Light luggage. It's always good advice for getting on trains, subways, hotels without elevators, and going up and down stairs with lots of suitcases. Is it also annoying or a problem for our waist and arms? This advice is relevant for all ages, but especially for us. Subscribe. Another tip is not to travel with the maximum weight allowed by the airline, because during the trip you'll buy souvenirs. It might not seem like it, but they add weight. And on the way back, we won't want to pay for excess baggage. So if they allow us 23 kilos, don't take. 23, take 18 or 19. The 8th, physical preparation and travel insurance. Walk before you travel. Europe is best explored on foot, so boosting your endurance beforehand really helps. Many people already go to a gym because it's necessary for health and well-being, and that's great, but there are also people who don't. So start walking little by little, every day. A little more will help you be better prepared for when you start walking several kilometers a day. If you have mobility issues, make sure to check each of the places you'll go to see if they're accessible. Consult your doctor before the trip, especially if you take regular medication. Carry your regular medications in your carry-on luggage and in their original packaging. I bring a duplicate, one in my carry-on and another in my checked suitcase, just in case one gets lost. Also bring painkillers and basic items. For any needs, subscribe. And here comes the tip that should have been number 1. The 9th useful tech? Some people will say technology isn't for them because of their age, but not everyone feels that way. Well, but there are a ton of apps that are going to save us and make our trip easier. So try to get familiar with how to use them. In case you're not used to them, I think most of us are already used to using all of them, but I'll name them here. Use apps like Google Maps to locate yourself with maps. Subscribe to Google Translate to translate menus, or know how to ask something. Another fear when traveling for the first time is the language. If you have basic English, you'll be fine with that. It's a myth that the French won't answer you in English, isn't it? Especially in tourist areas, the world is globalized. If you don't have basic English, don't worry either. The translator can be a great help, and gestures and a smile never fail. If you're really afraid because of the language barrier and you're going to travel alone, I would let go of that fear. But if you keep thinking about that, choosing Spain as your first destination, as your first visit to Europe, is a good plan. Let's continue with the apps. There are apps to find public restrooms nearby, like Flash, Toilet Finder, which can be really helpful. Also, we mentioned it in transportation, apps like Uber, Cabify, or Taxi. Internet connection is, I would say, essential nowadays, especially for everything I mentioned before. There are several options there, like traveling with your carrier's roaming, if your plan includes it. And keeping in mind that if you go over your data limit, you should know exactly what they're going to charge you. Call your carrier and get informed. Ask your carrier. All of that is so you don't get any surprises. The other option is to buy a physical SIM card at your destination and swap it with yours. First, ask your carrier if your phone is unlocked so you can use it with other carriers. This can be a bit inconvenient, because you remove your number and use another one, but it's an option, and there are good deals when you arrive. And finally, an eSIM. We use that system, but it has some drawbacks, like not all phone models support eSIM technology, and you should also check with your carrier to see if your phones are unlocked. Otherwise, it won't work. There are many companies that sell these eSIMs. You should compare them if you decide to get one. I didn't mention Wi-Fi. It's optional, but we don't feel comfortable or safe using public networks. Thanks for watching the crucial 10th one, Traveler Mindset, and finally, my most beloved advice. Traveling is not a race. Appreciate the small things. Chatting with a local, coffee in a plaza, or a plan-free afternoon. Accept things may not go as planned. It's okay. Later, these become travel stories. Keep an open attitude. Europe has a rich cultural diversity, and each country has its own pace. Enjoy the journey instead of just recording it. Taking photos is fine, but don't let the camera take away the experience. We see travelers when we travel who are desperate to record videos with their phones, spending hours looking at what's right there through a screen. We often say that while we have the channel, we may not film as much as they do. Sit, observe, and enjoy the moment. Don't let it bother you, that Latin guilt we feel. Why am I spending so much on this trip? I could be saving for X in my city or spending less dining out. We always feel that guilt, don't we? You've already done those calculations and come far in life. Now it's time to treat yourself. If you can do it, and if you want to do it, of course, enjoy it to the fullest. Enjoy it for yourself, not to show off. One of you has been in charge of organizing that trip. The rest of you should go along and support their decisions. Looking to do something special one night? Save on your everyday dinners in that city and do something you like, something you've dreamed of. A special dinner. It can be expensive or it might not be. Sitting under the Eiffel Tower, having a picnic. These are just examples of things that might only happen once in a lifetime. Number 11. You said there were 10 yes. But I mentioned a surprise for those who stayed this long. We're going to give you a downloadable PDF. In it, you'll find a summary of these 10 tips. You'll also find some extra things that we just mentioned briefly in this video. Besides, the PDF has a customizable spreadsheet, so you can start organizing your trip right here on the screen. Are you seeing a QR code now? Scan it with your phone to access and download the PDF directly. If you've made it this far, enjoyed the video, and downloaded your PDF, what I'm going to ask you now is to leave me a comment with the name of the place you dream of visiting on that first trip that I'm sure you are going to take. Also, give it a like if you enjoyed the video, if it was helpful to you, and subscribe. If you haven't done it yet, I can't believe you still haven't done it. Travel companions, I'm leaving you here now, at the end of this video. One, so you can start planning that trip. Here's the full step-by-step as planned. See you in a future video. Have a good trip.